Hello, and welcome to the Daily Life Uncut. So, today I would like to go ahead and celebrate and commemorate my father on his birthday. Today he is 58. I know he's probably going to get mad at me for saying that, but I think it is very appropriate to go ahead and show your age because it makes you distinguished. And he was born this day, May 26th, in 1957. He was born in, what was it? He was born in Ohio. And he moved down here when he was, I think they moved down here when he was like 7 or 8. And then years and years later, after lots of friends and talking and whatnot, my mom and him got together. And when she was 30 and he was, I think, 35 or 36, because I think they're 5 or 6 years apart, one of the two, out popped me. I would say that was definitely his greatest accomplishment. Other than being in the army and stuff, the overseas and whatnot that he's done, I say I rank up there pretty high. Now, a couple things that I do remember about him specifically as far as the times and stuff that we've had together, I would like to share with you guys today. One of them in particular was he used to be a tow truck driver. And he used to be on call all the time. There would never not be a moment where he would or wouldn't be on call. Some days he might be off. That still doesn't necessarily mean that you're off. It just means you're on call, and then there's a good possibility that you could be right back out there towing somebody else for whatever reason. That's why he always had a tow truck sitting at home, which the neighbors were kind of pissed at sometimes because it was hard to maneuver that back and forth and whatnot. Although he did it with an ease, but not everybody likes it. Other than that, let's go ahead and go on to the first story. So the first story was, if it wasn't for him, he would have, or I would have not been the person I am today. If it wasn't for him, I would not like video games. More specifically, he went and spent his hard-earned money to purchase my very first video game system. Technically, it was the family's, but it's mine. It's all mine. The video games, that's me. Which I did repay him years and years later. I bought him systems as well because he started to enjoy the Spyro games and stuff on the very first PlayStation, and he was kind of bummed when his PlayStation 2 died. So I was like, well, what better way to repay you than a system that I know is not going to break under a small amount of pressure, or if it gets accidentally kicked over, at least not right away, not the first time that you drop it, like our PlayStation 2 did. So we got him a backwards compatible PlayStation 3. And that's what he's playing on now, and he is absolutely loving the golf games that he's played, the Spyro games that he's been able to replay. He's so happy that he's able to actually do something like that after, I would say, at least a good couple years of not playing any games at all. It's kind of nice to see him sitting on the couch and actually playing a game. Kind of like what I do in my room, on that TV behind you, with that Xbox One right there. So, with that said, if it wasn't for him, no games, I probably wouldn't even have looked up YouTube videos, and I probably wouldn't have even been making videos for YouTube. I really strongly think that that's what would have happened. I would have been somewhere else, doing something else, whether it be good or bad. Excuse me. Long day. Whether it be good or bad or something like that. So, what we ended up doing, another story, is, I remember this one in particular. I don't know why I was upset with him, but when I was younger, he had to go out on the road. And I think I might have had a nightmare or something like that, and woke him up, or he woke me up throughout the nightmare. And no, I do apologize. That was not the case. I was sick, and I was, thrown up everywhere, and I was, I don't want to get too graphic with that, but I was very sick, and he had to go to work. And for some reason, I didn't want to get taken care of by my mom. I didn't want to get taken care of by sisters or other family members or anything. I wanted him, and I wanted him to take care of me. And so I cried and I whined, and granted, I was a little kid, people. I don't want you to sit there and think that nothing different. But what I ended up doing is I made him feel so bad that he had to leave. And to this day, I do feel bad that it happened this way. But he ended up giving me a... It's not the item that he gave me, but it is the point that counts. Is he gave me a small bat. And I can't remember exactly which movie it's from, but it's a Disney movie. And it is a small gray bat that was in a Burger King toy. So back in the 90s, if you know that, you could go ahead and comment the answer down below. Can't remember what the heck the name is or what movie it's from, but that's irrelevant. I've seen him, he had it on the dashboard of his tow truck. I don't remember if I gave it to him at one point or I left it there or if he just grabbed it one night or whatever the case may be. He gave it to me and he said that when I'm not here, he's going to look after you. And granted, my imagination as a kid was very vivid and wild. And I just remember that being a very revealing time, I guess. Because it really made me feel comforted. It made me feel better. And I think by the time that he got home the next day, I was feeling better in general. And I was sick for a couple days beforehand. Of course, probably the medicine helped, but I would still like to sit here and think that he was the one that that helped me through that more than anybody else. Every time that I've really needed anything from him, he's been there. And I hope he does that the same for even, say, his grandkids, which he has. He's done an amazing job. And even future grandkids. Like when I have kids someday, I hope that he does the same thing for them as I would do for them, as anybody else would do for them. I would hope, at least, being there for them and stuff like that. And I just feel that he's taught me so much. And I hope to be at least half the father of what he actually is. And if he's watching this at any point, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank him specifically for everything that he has done and everything that he will do. And no matter what anybody has ever said, I don't consider you not my father. Which, if you knew me in real life, you would understand what that means. Of course, he's obviously my father, but he knows what that means. And with that, I'd like to end today's video. Thank you for sitting through this video. I know there's been some heartfelt videos every once in a while, but you got to keep things fresh, so I thought I would try something a little bit different. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow with another great, exciting edition of the Daily Life Uncut. As always, this is my journey.